Hey, Shalom. I just want to get on here and try to make this quick. This is to all the ones that are trying to call me a liar and call me all kind of names, a devil, and, just all this stuff. I'm not going to get deep into the mistreatment and oppressive treatment that I've been receiving. I think I've been doing that enough on my page, But I'm going to get right off into it. I give all praise to Yahweh. I'm not pretending to be Yahweh only and serving any other idols. I'm not doing that. I publicly confess with my mouth that I have denounced the wood idol JC, and I've denounced the stone idol that Yahweh says Yasharel is calling their mother. I've denounced both of them. I know who they are. And, there's many other gods mixed off into these books of wisdom. And the reason why a lot of people can't see through these books is because, I'm talking about the books of wisdom, really. Because of their dark sayings. Yahweh hasn't given you the eyes to see and catch these things. One day I will go to Proverbs and Psalms and easily show you how it can be debunked. I mean, there's so much proof stacked up against these books. And Yahweh, like he says, he exposes the false prophets as liars. He said there was no one with him when he created the heaven and the earth. But JC said he was in the beginning. This chick Wisdom says she's in the beginning. The only thing that I find in the Torah, Yahweh's Torah, is where he mentions wisdom is about his laws. That's how they are wise, by following his laws. I don't see any separate chick that Yahweh gives glory to for helping him do anything. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into this real quick, because I'm going to try to touch on quite a bit. Really just 3 chapters, Isaiah 28, 29, and Jeremiah 23. So this is for those bearing false witness against me. I'm not a liar. I know better to speak lies in Yahweh's name. I would never expose a false prophet that I know that I can't, using Isaiah 8:20. I would not do it. And that's why I haven't got Hosea. Hosea is on my radar. And I get clips here and there, you know what I'm saying? Just like Yahweh. But I always notice he always, in his time, exposes them. I'm going after the major hitters right here. Zechariah and Daniel, with this false prophet sealed garbage, fleeing to the mountains where JC and all this stuff, it's all lies. But anyways, okay, so a message about Samaria. What sorrow awaits the proud city of Samaria, the glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel. The glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel. It sits at the head of a fertile valley, but its glorious beauty will fade like a flower. It is the pride of a people brought down by wine. For Yahweh will send a mighty army against it, like a mighty hailstorm and a torrential rain. They will burst upon it like a surging flood and smash it to the ground. It sits at the head of a fertile valley. The glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel is the sun. The sun. It sits at the head of a fertile valley. That's why these Second Temple books and books of wisdom have you trying to receive this crown. The crown is the sun. This is Kabbalah Jewish mysticism. I could go way deeper on that, but I'm just not going to do it. The proud city of Samaria, the glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel, will be trampled beneath its enemies' feet. It sits at the head of a fertile valley, but its glorious beauty will fade like a flower. Whoever sees it will snatch it up as the early fig is quickly picked and eaten. That makes me think of JC's parable on the fig. You know what I'm saying? That Yahuwah said he destroyed the branch of, Then Yahuwah will himself be Yasharel's glorious crown. He will be the pride and joy of the remnant of his people. Hold up here. Let me point out something right here. This just went into end time prophecy. So it says the proud city of Samaria and the glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel will be trampled beneath its enemies' feet. Okay? And then it says in the end that Yahuwah will be Yasharel's glorious crown to the remnant of his people. So where is the 70-year captivity lie? It just went into destruction and then restoration. And I'm going to show you how often that occurs. There's much proof that this whole second temple never even existed. Yahweh never prophesies it. The false prophets are leading you to a second temple. The fake Jews are returning back to the fake promised land, but the Israelites are not. His Torah proves it, and his binded up true witnesses prove it. Everything I say, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, I can back up everything that comes out of my mouth. I will not go around just thinking I know scripture, just saying anything I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Okay. So then at last, Yahweh will himself be Yasharel's glorious crown. He will be the pride and joy of the remnant of his people. He will give a longing for justice to their judges. He will give great courage to their warriors who stand at the gates. That's Gog and Magog. So we see there was no second 70-year captivity. The return back to Jerusalem. There was no, you know what I'm saying? It's destruction, restoration. That's how Isaiah 8:20 speaks. It always speaks of destruction and restoration. There is no in-between secrets. Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret is JC and this stone idol chick. Okay, home. Now, however, Yasharel is led by drunks who reel with wine and stagger with alcohol. The priests and the prophets stagger with alcohol and lose themselves in wine. I mean, that's just really, okay, they're drunk, but not from wine. He's saying it's because of idolatry. So people really need to understand, because I think this is where they get confused. It throws them off, because the priests and the prophets that he's talking about are the priests and the prophets that were in the land before his people got scattered. That once the idolatry came into Jerusalem, into, his priests and prophets, and they were earning vision, he had to take them away. They were against him. In Jeremiah, he says the priests were like one that took off the yoke of Yahuwah. They were not following his Torah or teaching it. They were trying to kill Jeremiah. They said, "For the law will not perish from the priest, nor the wise counsel, or a message from the prophet." But it did. Isaiah 3. If you read that chapter in context, where's the 70-year captivity lie there? He said, "Children oppress my people, and women rule over them." Where is the release back to the land and all that? He took the prophets away. It clearly says he took the eloquent writer, all this stuff. He took away everything from his people, and the curses came down in full, making the land desolate, uninhabited till this day. Okay, so Yasharel is led by drunks who rule with wine and stagger with alcohol. The priests and prophets stagger with alcohol and lose themselves in wine. They reel when they see visions. and stagger as they render decisions. Their tables are covered with vomit. Filth is everywhere. Who does Yahuwah think we are? They ask. Why does he speak to us like this? Are we little children just recently weaned? He tells us everything over and over, one line at a time, one line at a time, a little here and a little there. So now Yahuwah will have to speak to his people through foreign oppressors who speak a strange language. Yahuwah has told his people, here is a place of rest. Let the weary rest here. This is a place of quiet rest, but they would not listen. So Yahuwah will spell out his message for them again, one line at a time, one line at a time, a little here and a little there, so that they will stumble and fall. They will be injured, trapped, and captured. Therefore, listen to this message from Yahuwah, you scoffing rulers in Jerusalem. This is his people, back in the land, before they got scattered. You boast, we have struck a bargain to cheat death, and have made a deal to dodge the grave. The coming destruction can never touch us, for we have built a strong refuge made of lies and deception. So these wicked ruling men in Jerusalem had struck a covenant with death. So they were thinking that they could dodge the destruction from Yahuwah. They could dodge the grave, right? And what else could it be? What else could this covenant made with death? In another translation, it says covenant with death. That's going to make you think that you can dodge Yahuwah's destruction. Really? What could that possibly be? I'm going to tell you. The covenant they made with death, Yahuwah exposes him and who they were worshiping. The sun, the god Tammuz, right? And, he exposes the chick they're worshiping too, the stone idol. I kind of lost my concentration there for a slight second. But anyways, I'm just going to continue. The current structure can never touch us for you. Okay. Therefore, this is what Yahuwah says. So we got to recap. What was we told? We was told the priests and prophets are defiled, erring in vision. Okay. So instead, Yahuwah had to speak to them in a different way because they didn't want to hear where the rest was, to make them fall and go backwards. So they're off on some other doctrine that doesn't lead to life. And then we hear about this covenant made with death. They're trying to dodge the destruction from Yahuwah. They've made a refuge made of lies. Okay, so Yahuwah says, therefore, this is what Yahuwah says. Look, I am placing a foundation stone in Jerusalem, a firm and tested stone. It is a precious cornerstone that is safe to build on. Whoever believes need never be shaken. This is David. David is the cornerstone. JC, they are crossroad. This was falsely fulfilled. JC alleges that they cross-reference Isaiah 28:16 to Romans 9:33 and 1 Peter 2:6. So you can see how they try to take Yahweh's truth and then lead you astray over here and make you believe that garbage. So they're trying to falsely fulfill this. This was falsely fulfilled, okay? But if we look even closer, it says that this placing a foundation stone in Jerusalem, a firm and tested one. A firm and tested one was already tested. So there's nobody that comes after this tested one. And they try to play off Zerubbabel as this cornerstone as well. And Zerubbabel came after. JC didn't come until his people went into captivity. The Tammuz, who they were worshiping, which is the sun, in Ezekiel 8, is the same character as JC. Okay, I will test you with the measuring line of justice and the plumb line of righteousness. Since your refuge, I went to look at a different. I started reading from the book. Since your refuge is made of lies, a hailstorm will knock it down. Since it is made of deception, a flood will sweep it away. Did not Yahuwah said he had a hailstorm that was going to knock the glorious crown of the drunks of Yasharel to the ground? It's the sun. He's going to pull fire from the midst of him, Ezekiel 28:11 through 19. He's going to pull fire from the midst of him. He's going to fall from heaven, finally. The devil, Satan character is a mythological character. Isaiah 14 is future prophecy. There's much to back up everything I'm saying. I'm telling you, I can go so deep. I've really been tripping over Yahuwah's truth. And that's why I try to find somebody to relate to so I can be like, wow, this is incredible. Like, but nobody is grasping his truth. It's so depressing. It's so depressing. I don't hate his people. I love his people. I don't want them to be cut off. So, all you, Mr. Real Talk, all y'all are sitting there saying bad things about me. And it's not true. I didn't come to your page. I didn't disrespect you. I tried to help you out of idolatry. And you got enraged over it. So now I have to. I'm going to prove that I'm not a liar. We're going to see who the liar is. Yahuwah is going to make it known. I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I understand y'all whole thing. And I know y'all can't stand white people. I get it. I can't wait till this stuff is over, whether I make it or not. Because if I do make it, I know this won't go on in the promised land, Y'all are only hurting yourself. Yahweh's testing all of us. Are we going to bless or curse Yasharel? Is Yasharel going to oppress and vex the stranger? You think Yahweh's going to allow you in the land by vexing a stranger? And saying you're going to put him on a prayer list to die? I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't care who says it's weak. This walk has just about got the best of me. I've lost my whole entire family. And now my children over this. From me being different. And my mom passing away. I am the fatherless. I am all alone. And I am not. I feel like my children are trying to make me choose. And I'm sticking with Yahuwah. He is my life. He is my father. So I appreciate if y'all just back off. You know what I'm saying? I'm broken as hell. I beg him every day. And he knows I'm not lying. I beg him just about every single day of these last 6 years of my life. And it really this last year has been the worst, losing my mother. I have no one to comfort me. I have no one to speak. See, y'all all love and buddy and you got family. It's great for y'all. I want that for y'all. But y'all hate me. There is no love for me. And that's okay. I understand. But it's hurting y'all. I don't want you to hurt yourself. I want every single one of you to make it. Not only am I doing this for Yahuwah's glory and to get his truth out, is because I genuinely care. I know who y'all are. And I know who I can be if I keep his commandments to the best of my ability and proclaim his every word as commanded. Jeremiah 23. I don't see nobody doing this. I will watch y'all talk about try to expose the New Testament, right? You're trying to pull people out of idolatry in the New Testament. But then you give them books like Psalms and Daniel and Zechariah, and they know their idol is there. They know it. So you look really dumb to them trying to explain a false prophet book to them. There are many false prophets in the made-up Jewish Tanakh. When you say Tanakh, you are including the Ketuvim, which the Ketuvim is the books of wisdom that are lying to you bad, which are the Second Temple books too. I can go even deeper on that, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's see. Knock it down. Since its main possession, a flood will sweep it away. I will cancel the bargain you made to cheat death, and I will overturn your deal to dodge the grave. When the terrible enemy sweeps through, you will be trampled into the ground again and again. That flood will come morning after morning, day and night, until you are carried away. This message will bring terror to your people. The bed you have made is too short to lie on. The blankets are too narrow to cover you. Yahuwah will come as he did against the Philistines in Mount Perazim and against the Amorites at Gibeon. He will come to do a strange thing. He will come to do an unusual deed. For Yahuwah has plainly said that he is determined to crush the whole land, so scoff no more, or your punishment will even be greater. Listen to me, listen and pay close attention. Does a farmer always plow and never sow? Is he forever cultivating the soil and never planting? Does he not finally plant his seeds, black cumin, wheat, barley, emmer wheat, each in its proper way and each in its proper place? The farmer knows just what to do, for Yahweh has given him understanding. A heavy sledge is never used to thresh black cumin. Rather, it is beaten with a light stick. A threshing wheel is never rolled on cumin. Instead, it is beaten lightly with the flail. Grain for bread is easily crushed, so he doesn't keep on pounding it. He threshes it under the wheels of the cart, but he doesn't pulverize it. Yahweh is a wonderful teacher, and he gives the farmer great wisdom. But he's not talking about no chick wisdom. Isaiah 11 is a great example, like I made a post, of the spirit of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge comes from Yahweh. Isaiah 33, in the last days, where it talks about wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your time. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. It's his. All that comes from Yahweh. It doesn't come from no chick. It comes from Yahweh. There's no other but Yahweh. There is a he and a she that's trying to be like Yahweh. Isaiah 47, most don't know about she. You got to go read it. She's trying to be like him too. She's trying to get you to call her mother. She said there is no other but her. Isaiah 47, you might want to check it out. I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm fighting for my life to make it. I mean, I began this walk fighting for my children, to protect them. That's why I learned his every word, because I want to know exactly how to protect them and what's to come. But see, these sealed books make you think, the books of wisdom, the Second Temple books, like Daniel, they make you think that the books are sealed and that ain't nobody going to know until at the end, and then knowledge is going to increase to and fro, blah, blah, blah. And those who are righteous and lead many to righteousness will shine like the brightness of the heavens. No, that's a lie. Because he's going to destroy the host of heaven, so ain't nobody going to shine bright like them. Yahweh says the wisdom of the wise is going to perish. Isaiah 29. Okay, so let's go to Isaiah 29. Okay. A message about Jerusalem. Okay, when I told y'all, watch how he does this, how it occurs often. Here's another example. When he talks about destruction, and then he goes in to restoration. There is no in-between Second Temple. What sorrow awaits, Ariel, the city of David. Year after year you celebrate your feast, yet I will bring disaster upon you, and there will be much weeping and sorrow. For Jerusalem will become what her name, Ariel, means, an altar covered with blood. I will be your enemy, surrounding Jerusalem and attacking its walls. I will build siege towers and destroy it. Then deep from the earth you will speak, from low in the dust your words will come. Your voice will whisper from the ground like a ghost conjured, JC. Conjured up from the grave. But suddenly, this goes right into end time prophecy that has not came to pass. Gog and Magog has not came to pass. Yahweh has not destroyed his anointed cherubim, the host of heaven. Yahweh, there's not peace and salvation. So none of that has been done. And I can tell you exactly what is to come using scripture. And Yahweh is so detailed. He tells us exactly what's going to happen. And Micah 2, at the end of that, Yasharel's king is leading Israel out of captivity with Yahuwah guiding them. Micah is huge. It fills in a lot of detail, and especially to this Isaiah 53 that's never came to pass. No, the so-called sufferer is not Israel. It is a he. It is a man. It is one person. And if you put everything together, Yahweh tells you exactly who it is going to be. It's going to be David. Just like JC tried to fulfill that, this time is not this time, because it never happened. Yahweh is against human sacrifice. It's an abomination. Yes. But Yahweh has a plan. He's not going to sacrifice himself and do a human sacrifice. That's an abomination to Yahweh. David is going to be led out of the land, and they are going to, Micah 5, strike Yasharel's leader in the face with a rod. Isaiah 55, who is Yasharel's leader and commander? David, the sure mercies of David that JC tried to fulfill, that it hasn't came to pass yet. Because if it has, we would be, if we were chosen, eating free, there'd be peace, eating free, and what is good. Okay, but suddenly your ruthless enemies will be crushed. Okay, hold on, no. Okay, but suddenly your ruthless enemies will be crushed like the finest of dust. For many attackers will be driven away like chaff before the wind. Suddenly in an instant, I will act for you with thunder, earthquake, great noise, with whirlwind and storm and consuming fire. All the nations fighting against Jerusalem will vanish like a dream. Those who are attacking her walls will vanish like a vision in the night. Micah 3, a hungry person dreams of eating, but wakes up still hungry. A thirsty person dreams of drinking, but is still faint from thirst when morning comes. So it will be with your enemies, with those who attack Mount Zion. Are you amazed and incredulous? Question. Don't you believe it? Then go ahead and be blind, Mr. Real Talk. Go ahead and be blind. You are stupid, but not from wine. You stagger, but not from liquor. For Yahweh has poured out on you a spirit of deep sleep. He has closed the eyes of your prophets and visionaries. Why is Yahweh saying, don't you believe it? Then go ahead and be blind. What is he talking about? He's talking about, he just tried to show you in the previous chapter, he tried to tell you a lot, but you're not listening to it. He just sat here and talked about the destruction of Jerusalem, the restoration of Jerusalem. Where is the in-between second temple? Please, someone show me. It should be right there. If it was true, it should be right there. Just like Deuteronomy 29:29. It should be right there, because the previous verses, that chapter, at the end, is talking about the destruction. And then Yahweh says, I don't have any secrets, but what I have revealed to you and your children, so you'll do them. And then you turn the page, Deuteronomy 30. What is Yahweh saying? He's saying in the last days, he's going to end his people's captivity. Deuteronomy 28, he says the land is powder and dust. You will find, you're not going to have peace. It's going to be the curse is going to be a sign and a wonder forever. Deuteronomy 29, it talks about saying the land is sulfur and salt. It has to stay desolate. Your ancestors, it was bad. That's why the curses were bad. What they went through, eating their sons and daughters and all this stuff. And, I do feel bad of the mistreatment. I can't imagine, what I'm saying, what a lot of y'all have went through. But it's not without cause. It's not because the white man that got Yasharel done like this. It was because of their disobedience. It was not without cause. We had to think what was done to Yahuwah for these curses to come down so bad. It was bad. But y'all think he had favor and pity. And after 70 years, y'all really believe 70 years was enough to learn a lesson? They were lying in his name. They were worshiping other gods in his house. They took off the yoke of him, his Torah. What? I mean, come on now. Think. Yahuwah is the victim. But see, the second temple myth makes y'all think he has favor, which he said he's never going to have, or pity, that he hid himself. He says about 6 times in Isaiah 8:20 that he hid himself. I can find all the scripts. I got most of them memorized, but there's a few I need to find. But I can find them all for you if you would like. Now, this is crazy, y'all. I don't care if you accept me now or not. It's not about, I know I'm not going to be liked in this walk. I'm cool. I love walking with Yahuwah. Yahuwah is enough for me right now. I need him more than what I need him because I don't, you know what I'm saying? It can get to you after so long being by yourself constantly nonstop every day. I don't do worldly things. I don't watch TV. I do my housework. I do what I need to do in my work and what I need to do. And then the rest of my free time, I'm in his word. Yeah, and I'm doing his work online, trying to wake his people up because I care. I care about his truth and I care about his people. And I never said, King David, that I need blood. I don't know where you're getting that from. You're saying that I'm coming Yah only, and I said I still need blood. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. When you bear false witness against somebody, please come to them so they can know. Please. Y'all all are sitting here bullying me, but you're hiding. Come directly to me. What does the Torah say? Do y'all think y'all's little, you think Yah was really impressed with how y'all are treating me? Actually, after I'm doing his work and I know his every word and I've put in the work, I'm telling you, y'all don't know how much I study. I've got his word memorized. I've read, so I can remember his every word. That's why I study as hard as I do. My mom would get jealous because I'm in the, when she was alive, she would get literally jealous because I'm in the scripture so much. My kids, jealous because I'm in the scripture so much. I don't do this world. I have neighbors. I hang out with them a little bit. But it's so hard for me. I mean, I love them to death. They, still, it sucks. It sucks being all alone. Y'all got your little mishpaka. That's great. I'm happy for you. But I don't. My whole mishpaka family, I don't have none. All I have is Yahuwah. So when you sit there and say you're going to put me on a prayer list to be killed, don't think you're doing something that I ain't begging for every day, okay? I'm broken as hell. I'm so damn tired. At this point, I really don't care if I make it or not. But I'm still not going to give up on Yahuwah, and I'm still not going to try to give up putting his truth out there. I beat myself up severely for the last 6 years since I've been awake, worrying myself to death, thinking that I'm not going to make it. So I don't need you or anybody else to tell me that I don't belong. You know what I'm saying? Because I do a good enough job doing it myself, okay? Thank you. I'm not mad. But I'm going to stand up for myself. And I'm going to be stern. And I'm going to stand 10 toes down for Yahweh's truth. I'm not lying on his word. I'm not lying. I'm telling y'all that you're in idolatry. But you're worshiping other idols, saying Yah only. and then you try to spin it around me and say that against me, call me a liar, we're going to see who's a liar.